Hi, it's Miss Pritzel at the Appleton West Library, and I'm book talking a horror supernatural book called The Taking of Jake Livingston, and it's by Ryan Douglas. So there are 2 points of view of this. We have our main I think of him as our main character, Jake Livingston, telling his story. And then we have Sawyer Doone, who is the evil, malevolent spirit that wants to possess Jake. So, Jake Livingston can see ghosts, and is not a gift that he wants. And mostly these, the things he sees are harmless. Sawyer Doone, however, is not a harmless ghost. He's malevolent, and he can actually influence. He's best known for being a school shooter who took his own life, but as a ghost, he has also committed murder by forcing others into suicide. So yeah, it is scary in that respect. But there are a lot of themes going on here, so it doesn't stick just to the horror. So it's going to have, to me, this book is going to have a smaller market than just as for people who are fans of horror. So Jake's themes. Jake is one of the very few African American students at his expensive preparatory high school. I'm not sure, why is Jake going to this school instead of a different one? But his brother Benji also attends the school. But he also feels inferior to Benji because Benji is athletic and popular. Jake is definitely not. So Jake is isolated because he doesn't really have that many friends. He's LGBTQ but hiding it. So he's just got a lot of it. He's also been traumatized by a father who's no longer in the picture, but a father who tried to pray the gay out of him. And his mother did not defend Jake in that situation, although he realizes that Benji, his brother, did. Sawyer is the other point of view. So Sawyer is the former school shooter, malevolent ghost who's trying to possess Jake. But by getting his point of view, we see some of the things that lead up and what made Sawyer into, Sawyer into a school shooter. And this was a kid who was receiving treatment. They say for clinical depression, but I think there was something more there. But his mother was embarrassed by this. So his mother took him out of inpatient treatment. Doesn't even really want him to see a therapist, none of this stuff, and thinks, he just needs a male influence. So has his uncle take him out. And within 19 days of being he should have stayed in treatment, but within 19 days of being taken out of treatment, he is sent back to school, and he is just tormented there. And a situation with his uncle just pushes him over the edge, and he becomes a school shooter. And like I said, becomes this malevolent spirit that wants to possess Jake because he wants to be part of the living again. So, this was a really interesting book. It was really interesting to get Sawyer's point of view, but like I said, I feel like people who want a straight horror book are going to be bored by some of these themes that are brought in and the time that it takes to do some of these things. It's actually a very short book. I think it's a good book, but I think it's so I think if you're more interested in a supernatural read that has a lot of multiple themes to it, and I think he does a good job with most of these themes. Like I said, I found this interesting just for the perspective of why did he include the point of view of Sawyer. And I think it is. I think it really, for me, it added a lot to this book. If horror or supernatural is not your cup of tea, I will help you find something else. Have a fantastic day and keep on reading. Bye.